So, Dr. Jack, I want to ask you a question. You know, when we talked about the questions that we would actually share and the answers we would give the women at the B conference, so she would not leave here with no stone unturned. I'm just, I don't know about you, but I'm excited. You know, I'm so excited because I've already gotten 6 nuggets and I could leave right now, but we're going to give it to her. When I think root element, I think problem. Okay? Is that a good word? Yeah. Root element, problem. What's the problem, the root element that you're seeing, the reason why women are not taking their success, their health, and their wealth, all of that, because you represent that. As a woman who's become, I say mega successful, I push you right all the way up there, right? Say it. Absolutely. Let's combine that, because the B conference is about her business, her lifestyle, and her career. Okay? So we have a 3-track conference. And so here's what we want to help her do. We want to help her get to the root element. What do you see? What has your experience has said to you?
So seeing women all day and being one myself, and knowing it's a fact that neurobiologically we are different. Yes. We are wired different. We're made different. We think differently. Culturally, we're trained differently. In a lot of instances, in a lot of cultures, women aren't trained to be leaders.
Very key.
We are trained to be, and I don't want to say kept in a sense, but the man takes care of us and the daddy takes care of us. So we're not necessarily programmed or trained to be that leader that we need to be sometimes to be successful. Secondly, we take our lives and we put them second all the time. Right. We take care of the husband, the children, our friends, and our employers and employees, whatever it is. Yes. We put everybody first. And because of that, we tend to, and some women call it become depressed and downtrodden, because we put everybody first and we put ourselves second. With that, we become surrounded by negativity. We become negative people. And negativity and negative people are infectious. It's just like an STD. In that if you hang around in negativity and negative people after a while, and sometimes it doesn't take much. If you sit in the room with them and you got that girlfriend, you almost hate to see her coming. And she's complaining and she's not happy, but she's doing absolutely nothing to change it. And so I find for women, we have to dig deep. And I heard you talking about digging deep. You got to go in. And you know, when you talked about a uterus, that resonated with me because life starts in the uterus. And so when you said dig deep in the uterus, I'm like, that's a good point. That's a good, because that's where life is conceived, and it's nurtured, and it's cooked, and it's there for sometimes 40 weeks.
I like that.
And then then you give life, you release it, and you let it go.
I love it.
So I like the fact that you said we are, got to dig deep in your uterus, because sometimes babies don't want to come like they're supposed to. Some of them we actually have to evict. And so sometimes your success is so deep in your uterus, like you were saying. You've got to evict your success.
Wow.
If it's not coming out like you want to, do a C-section on it.
Wow.
Induce it. Give it some Pitocin. Push it out. But it's in there because the baby has to come out. Because what you may not know is if you leave an unborn child in the uterus too long, the placenta starts to go backwards and it's not being nurtured and fluid. So it becomes more of a risk to stay pregnant too long.
Correct.
Than to deliver the baby when it should come. So your success, if it stays in there too long, and you wake up one day and say, what happened? You left it in your uterus too long.
And you're wondering why you feel walking dead.
Yes, because you're walking around with that thing that God gave you, and it's there and it needs to come out. And you've got to do some pushing. And if you've ever been in labor, labor's like a marathon. And for the women who've had babies, I've seen enough, so I qualify. Women who've had babies, they got to work to get that baby out.
That's right.
They don't typically fall out the first time.
That's right.
Not even the second time. Maybe about the third or fourth. You don't have to do a lot of work because you got it. But that first time, you got to work, you got to push.
Gotta push.
It takes some endurance to go through labor. I say to them all the time, prepare your body for childbirth. You got to exercise. You got to eat right. You need to take your vitamins. There are things you need to do. And so we'll liken that unto, yes.
Powerful.
Is to say, you got things you got to do. And I heard you, we gave them 6 nuggets.
We did.
You got some other steps you're giving them
That's right.
that they've got to walk through. And what I heard you say is they don't always understand the dash coming from the projects, coming from a small town in Mississippi where they do say you're never going to be anything. And they talk about Mississippi to where you are today. They didn't see the part where we made money, lost money.
I love that.
Yes, made bad decisions, hooked up with the wrong people.
Yes.
But you took what could have been fashioned for a failure and you made a decision to turn it into success.